And welcome back to the Crypto Hawk program. Got a good one lined up. I'm going to show you today the origins of Ripple. The origins of what we call Ripple Labs. It's a Chinese. Google and Chinese. American government. Now, today, I'm going to start off with Google coming up with wallets. Remember what I told you? Ain't shit happening until everybody's got wallets. Ain't no crypto taking off until every one of us has wallets. And guess what? In America, it's taking off last. We're going to take off in other countries first. All the original Ripple Russia, Ripple China, Ripple Israel, Ripple Hong Kong, Ripple Indonesia, Ripple Brazil. All these countries will take off first. You'll see. And let's start with this. My name is Crypto Hawk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. What I do know is hardcore street addiction, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine. I can't stop using these illicit drugs, man. I'm super high every day, 24/7. I wouldn't listen to a word I say. It's the worst possible financial advice you'd ever get from all the drugs. Okay. Now that we've got a legal disclaimer out of the picture here, let's look into this article here. I want you to see how they're all getting it set up, and they're starting with the transportation, the TSA. Well, you have to look at this. This whole Ripple company already showed you. I was the only channel to show you Ripple China, Ripple Russia, Ripple Indonesia, and all these Ripple Israel. Ripple Israel already had their crypto like 10, 12 years ago. Okay, Ripple Israel's like, oh, we're going to come out with a crypto. They already did that like 12 years ago secretly. I have the website. I've shown you already. The other channels, they have no idea. These people are showing up to Ripple rock concerts, try to take selfies and try to be part of some kind of community. Do you realize how fucking stupid that is? That's so embarrassing. Ripple and the XRP are not designed for individuals. Do you see how foolish people are? This whole Ripple thing is the government. Straight up government. You're like over there. Well, I'm not even going to get into it. It's so embarrassing. Let's start right here. I've already predicted to you years and years ago, if you don't have a crypto wallet, if people aren't able to go buy gasoline with their crypto and shit like that, there ain't nothing going to happen. All that you have had so far are these little speculative pumps that mean nothing at all. The Crypto Hawk, this one's up 70%. So what? I talk about a crypto and it goes up 800%. Okay? I mean, we talk about, and this is all speculative, we talk about the Rise token. I got my Rise. I got up to $1 million. It's worth about $3,200, and the damn thing goes up to $25,000. See, that's what I'm talking. I don't give a shit about a crypto Hawk. This one's up 70% today. So fucking what? When Crypto Hawk has a show, we can get 2,500% increases. We've had crypto go up 25x before. So this little shit doesn't even bug me when cryptos go up a little bit. So fucking what? And then guess what happens? They all come back down. That's because we don't have real world use case. That's what we talk about in this program. I don't know when the date and time things take off. I don't care about any news. When any news comes out, so what? I mean, it's great, but the end game is we still have to sit here and wait. And wait. Google Wallet. Now, Google is like the first partner of Ripple. Oh, I got a great evidence lined up. Oh man, I got the boss where Boston comes in and the Chinese and the Gary Gensler. Oh man, I got a good one lined up for today. And you're gonna see by watching my program, Crypto Hulk, you're exactly right on all this stuff. Now, Google Wallet. They're partnering with the TSA. Imagine that. And they're going to introduce touchless IDs, plus 3 other government updates you need to know. Let's go through the article here, and I'm going to show you what I've been telling you for years. In an ever-evolving landscape of public policy and administration, staying informed about the latest government updates is crucial for citizens and shareholders alike. Over the past week, significant developments have emerged from key federal agencies, each impacting various facets of American life. Some of these developments include a United States Postal Service release of a new sunset nonprofit stamp. Google Wallet's partnering with TSA to create a touchless ID for airport passengers. Then the Social Security update on how some benefit recipients will receive 2 checks in July, and a Food and Drug Administration recall on popular blood pressure medication. Now, let's look here. This article, I'm going to cherry pick only the crypto portion of it. Okay, Google Wallet partners with TSA to move travelers quickly through security with new ID. Google is making it easier to get through Transportation Security Administration security checkpoints. The tech giant is using Google Wallet as the first digital wallet to partner. Are you hearing this? What I like to do on this program is show you guys what's happening first, okay? That's how we stay ahead. The tech giant, Google's, is using Google Wallet as the first digital wallet to partner with the agency's pre-check touchless ID program. Here's how it works. First, you'll be asked to create an ID pass using your passport information in Google Wallet. Then check in for your flight and save your boarding pass to Google Wallet. If you're eligible, there will also be an opt-in feature where you will see a Get Started button on your boarding pass. The button will take you to TSA enrollment page where you can choose to share your ID boarding pass with the TSA for your upcoming flight. Once enrolled, a TSA pre-check touchless ID badge will appear on your Google Wallet boarding pass. That badge will allow you to use Express TSA pre-check touchless ID at the airport. Now, that's all I'm going to read for this article here. What I wanted to show you is that here's how all this thing, we were talking about this years ago on Crypto Hulk, okay? And what we're seeing here is eventually all this has to come together. AI, Web3, crypto, finance, stock markets, digital ID, TSA screening ID. All this has to come together. So you're not rich tomorrow. You're not rich next week. What we do on Crypto Hulk shows, I show you early what cryptos are they using to get all this stuff done. Then we invest in them. Sometimes there's bumps and pumps, just like with the T-Rise crypto went from being $3,200 to $25,000 down to $25 thousand, 17,000 to 20,000 seems where it's hovering now. You just made a lot of money right there if you wanted to sell off. I don't know too many channels teaching people how to make 8 times their investment, all within like a month's period of time. Pretty amazing, but that's pretty standard for Crypto Hulk Show. So what we have now, let's go back and we'll talk about Google and stuff and Ripple and all that. Let's look back here because the reason I'm showing you all of this is because these other countries are going to release all this first. Look right here. Google-backed payment company Ripple. Let me repeat that again. This is a news article from an Indian news service. Google-backed payment company Ripple is in talks with NPCI banks for account-to-account transfers globally. What we have here is Google working with a payments company called Ripple. And they're in the country of India in the year 2017 right here, 9 years ago. And they're getting India all hooked up with payments. And then India's big on all this digital ID stuff. India's gotten rid of like cash for the most part or whatever in their country. India's got everybody with these digital IDs. Google. Now we take it back to the TSA article with Google and digital IDs. All the same shit India's already been doing. I've been showing you this Google-backed payment company Ripple article. Got to be at least 3 years now. I've been showing you this. This is where. Now, let's take it back. Now, I'm going to show you my Grok search on this. This one is not my special Grok. This is just the average Grok. So everybody can click on that one. It's not a scam. YouTube will come back. So I'm like, oh, this could be a scam. Whatever. No, it's not. The true scam is YouTube. That's the scam. So let's look at my little short deep dive here. Yes, Google. So I asked the question to Grok, is Google an early investor in Ripple? And then I say, show all the collaborations between Google and Ripple. Well, Grok forgot about this article. So I need to help Grok. I'll send you the updated one here in a minute. So while Grok's looking for that, I'm going to get into this article here. So I asked, is Google an early investor in Ripple? So we got Google in India with Ripple 2017. Well, Crypto Hulk, isn't that like a few years after Ripple started? Yeah, they're already in India hooking up them with payments. Very interesting, huh? How a startup all of a sudden is in India hooking them up with all these global payments and stuff. Here is the update. Let's do a copy and a paste. There's that. I'm going to take away the other one. Okay, here's the updated. The updated Grok. Let's go to the beginning. We're going to take a look at this because I read off a Google article how they're working with the TSA with wallets and everything. We know that Google is all the way tied in with Ripple. Okay. Now, didn't Ripple just come out with a wallet a month or two ago? Yeah. Well, they actually had it 12, 13 years ago, but they're trying to make it look like they're just releasing a wallet. I'll show you the evidence later on that. Everything on the show is fact-based. So what we have here in 2013, Google Ventures Alphabet invested in something called OpenCoin, which later became Ripple. So right from the very beginning, Google was there with Ripple and putting in money and working with them. Now, what's very interesting, you have this deep dive right here. I'm sharing with you the deep dive. So when Ripple first started, I want you to see this because this is very, very important to understand. When Ripple first started, Google was right there. But who else was there, Crypto Hulk? Well, there was one other company. So we're talking when Ripple started, there was two companies involved. Google, and I'll call that the American government. And the other partner involved here was IDG Capital. That's the Chinese government. Oh, let's look through here a little bit more. It followed, they had an angel round. Andreessen Horowitz showed up in 2013 with this. Ripple has been described as Google-backed in subsequent coverage. So everybody knows that Ripple and Google are like peas and carrots, okay? Now you can see the little chart here. It shows you all the collaborations with Google and Ripple. Google Cloud launched its own Layer 1 blockchain. But let's look a little deeper. The summary here, Google Ventures, Grok says, yes, Google Venture was one of Ripple's earliest and most notable tech investors. And just because there's no evidence of Google and Ripple working together, that doesn't mean they didn't. There's a thing called non-disclosure agreement, Grok, and that's what Grok cannot see. So I asked the question here. You can see in right here, IDG Capital. I say to Grok, isn't that a Chinese company? Grok says, yes, IDG Capital is a Chinese venture capital firm. Everybody, now let's try to understand this. The year's 2013, Ripple just started. Ripple had two investors, Google, which I'll call the American government, and then IDG Capital, which I'll call the Chinese government. Now, this is very interesting. Now, this IDG Capital is called by Google as a Chinese venture capital firm. But what Grok shows us here is that founded in 1992 in Boston, USA, originally as the venture capital arm of the International Data Group, a United States media and research company. So let's try to understand this, everybody, because this is where no other channel. We're having a little conspiracy fun today on Crypto Hulk channel. So you've got Ripple, and at its origin, you have Google, but then you have IDG Capital. That's a today we know this as a Chinese communist half-owned government corporation. But it started in Boston. But that's where a lot of this crypto shit starts at the MIT University and Gary Gensler and all this stuff with Boston. Well, what makes this one very interesting when I deep dive this is how do you have a Boston, this IDG capital, this Chinese venture capital coming? See, this makes no sense unless the governments are working together. Now it makes sense, okay? So what we have is a little crypto hog deep dive. We'll just dive in up to our knees today. We'll wade. We're going to wade into the water up to our knees today. We're not going to get too deep into this because that's how you become unalived. Founded in 1992 in Boston, United States of America. Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America. Originally, this was the International Data Group, a United States media and research company. Now, none of us have ever heard of this. So you have a United States media and research company, but then they go into China in 1993, making it one of the first foreign-backed venture capital firms to operate in China. Now, that's interesting. So this American company goes into China, and it's like the first one, the first media. Are you serious? Do you understand what kind of...
That bullshit is toxic. That bullshit is toxic. That bullshit is toxic. That bullshit is toxic.
So you have a communist country like China that doesn't allow any kind of American media. Are you kidding me? Then all of a sudden now, this International Data Group, American media research company, makes it the first foreign company to enter China. Come on, man. A media company? Like, I shouldn't even have to. There's be no way in hell. That's like a snowball that's in hell, okay? Not going to happen. So there's something going on here, okay? Now, what is the current identity of IDG Capital? It is widely regarded and operates as a leading Chinese venture capital firm. Its headquarters and primary operations are in China, Beijing, and Hong Kong, and the vast majority of its investments and track record are China-focused. Is this making any kind of sense about the origins of Ripple, everybody? Very, very interesting. This IDG, I thought it was an American company. How is this a Chinese venture capital? How do you get a media news agency research company? What the fuck are they researching? And they go into China, and then they become this Chinese venture. They invest in Chinese companies to make them successful. So you have a company called IDG Capital that invests in Chinese companies to makes them successful. Well, why are they investing into Ripple? And then why does the company start in America and have from the next year stay in China for like the next 35 years? It's a Chinese company, but yet it was started in America. Can somebody make some sense out of this for me? I'm not quite getting it. I'm of reasonable intelligence, I think, but this one's just not making any sense. According to Grok here, you have this, you can see, look under the key points, and it says, this IDG Capital is deeply embedded in Chinese ecosystem since the beginning. How is an American news media research company go into China and become deeply embedded in the Chinese ecosystem from the beginning, according to Grok? Just trying to show you that Ripple is not Ripple, okay? For all the low IQ people out there that keep going to these Ripple Rock concerts, do you not understand? How much do I have to keep showing you? Like, you're not a part of, if anything, you're part of a Chinese communist community. That's what you're a part of. Now, what is IDG Capital? We're still under the section that shows key points. We're looking at current status. It's this IDG Capital is a leading Chinese venture capital firm managing billions in assets. IDG Capital, look under 2017 ownership change. Just somehow, this American IDG Capital media research company, early Ripple investor with Google, joined with what's called China Oceanwide Holdings. They acquire the original U.S. parent IDG, now controlled from the Chinese side. It doesn't, I mean, I kind of know a little bit about business, but this has no, I'm not even seeing any, how the hell all this happened. Dang, Crypto Hulk, you really have a way of figuring shit out. While it technically started as the China-focused arm of an American company, IDG Capital has become a Chinese venture capital firm in practice over the 30 years. It is one of the most established, now listen to this, it is this IDG Capital that was supposedly a United States company in Boston, Massachusetts, United States, is a media research type company. They go to China, then they become a company that invests in Chinese companies. You know, the government owns half of every business in China. Well, they basically own your whole business. They just make you think that it's half. What does Grok say here? IDG Capital has been a Chinese venture authority. It is the most established and successful venture capital firm in China's history. Now, I'm going to stop for a minute. We're going to read that again. This whole clusterfuck, it is one of the most established and successful venture capital firms in Chinese history. Making any sense yet? Well, Crypto Hulk, the only thing that would make sense here, well, one of the things that would make sense is if the Chinese and the United States were actually kind of secretly working together. And maybe the Chinese government was in the U.S., started this business, or maybe Chinese operatives were in Boston, started this business with the United States government, okay, and took that to China to become vastly successful. That would make sense, but they wouldn't want people talking about this. What do I know, right? What do I know? I'm sure it's all in the up and up. Now, let me show you a little video Crypto Hulk did, just years ago. Not a big deal. The information I have is priceless. That's how I'm able to find these cryptos, people. Okay, here's a video I did. Oh, and looky here how it starts off. Ripple China timeline. Listen, Crypto Hulk. That's from 2013, Crypto Hulk. Wait a second here, Crypto Hulk. I think you found something. This is the Ripple China timeline that nobody has except you. Now, if we let this play out to the go to the 7-second mark. 7-second mark. Now, we were just talking about 2013. We got Boston, Massachusetts. IDG Capital started off as an American company, but ends up being China's most successful venture capital. Okay, that makes no sense at all. But what do we got right here? We got June 27th, 2013. The Ripple China Trading Center was launched. Oh, really? Has Ripple ever told you guys this? Hey, when you guys go to these Ripple rock concerts, do they talk about when the Ripple China Trading Center was launched 13 years ago? Did they ever talk about that at the Ripple rock concerts you guys go to? No, because these fucking losers have no idea what they go to see a Ripple rock concert. They have no fucking idea. This is all government ops, dude. These people are so fucking lost. It's sad. They're so desperate to try to make friends or something. And what can users do? So you go to this Ripple China Trading Center in 2013, and you can work with Alipay, which is Alibaba, and you can have TenPay, which is Tencent. What is this, Crypto Hawk? Alibaba and Tencent have already been Ripple partners through the Ripple China Trading Center, where they were moving XRP and doing all this digital crypto shit, where Ripple has never told you at all. That's why Crypto Hawk's here. That Ripple's been working with China from day one, everybody. The evidence is very clear right here. And Google is involved. So this is why I'm talking about Google. Look down below. July 27, 2013. Oh, look right here. On October 23rd, 2013, the Ripple China Gateway participated as a special guest in the Google Dialogue Google Dialogue Beijing. Well, Crypto Hulk, sounds like you're pulling this all together. Look, everybody. Google's coming out with this payment system, this digital ID. Google has been a partner of China, Ripple, Tencent, Alibaba. These motherfuckers have all this stuff done for all these years. I don't know why it's taking so long. What do I know? The evidence is right here. That's what I do know. That Ripple, China, Tencent, Alibaba, Google, they're all mixed in together. This IDG Capitals in America. You got Baidu, BAIDUs mixed in with Ripple. All this WeChat. All this stuff. No other channel has the evidence. I'm showing you right here. All this Google shit is all the government with China and all these countries. Just thought I'd let you know. So let's hit play on this Chinese video again I got here. Let me see if I show any more evidence. But there's all your connections with Google and Ripple in China, everybody. They had all this shit. Oh, and if you stop this video at the 22-second mark, you'll see the date is November 14th, 2013. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. It's unfucking believable what you're able to find. I know. Well, looky right here. At the 28-second mark, you have 2001. Look at the copyright here. But Crypto Hulk, wait a second. Are you saying Ripple China's been around since 2001? Let's look at the evidence here, buddy. There's something called Ripple China. Then there's RippleChina.net. Oh, shit. Now there's Ripple China Incorporated. When is this copyright for, Crypto Hulk? Well, look for yourself right there. At the 28-second mark, it shows copyright with a big C, 2001 to 2013. This is Ripple China, everybody. Copyright 2001. That kind of predates Bitcoin, don't it? Yeah, by about 8 years before Bitcoin, Ripple was around. I'm showing you right here. It's called Ripple China Inc. All right? Don't get butthurt. That's just the facts. That's one of the benefits of being a Crypto Hulk member. Look, when you and me talk on the phone with your little $200 I'm close to being on welfare budget. That's how you know you're getting a pretty sharp dude, because there's no channel showing evidence like this at all. All right. Let me check some comments and we'll continue on our little journey here. See, so now you're kind of like, dang, Crypto Hulk. That's why I told you years ago, back in 2020, I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is, here's what I told you back in 2020. This is 3 months, just 3 months after looking into crypto. I already knew this is a wrap for you and me. I said I got good news, I got bad news. The good news is we're all going to be crazy rich for a short period of time. We're all going to be crazy rich and driving Lambos, and you got hoes and shit or whatever, popping bottles with models or whatever. Okay. But in the end, everybody ends up a slave. I just showed you all the Ripple, China, United States, Tencent. They got the governments of China, the government of China, corporations of China, America, Boston's involved. Oh, yeah. Ripple's involved. Ripple's involved with all the banks. All the banks ran on this. Everybody, I'm showing you all of this amazing information. It's not my opinion. It's just facts. That's what we do on this program. That's how you know when you get a membership of Crypto Hulk. It's like, damn, this guy, he fucking knows shit. All right. It's based on facts, not my opinion. All right. You got 11 million of white teeth coin. All right. Now, let me look here. We got 36 minutes into the show. Let me click out of that. So now here's my Google. Here's Google Wallet, the first digital wallet to integrate. So here's my AI. I took that article and now I'm looking at it with AI to find more stuff. Google Wallet. So we already know where Google and Ripple stand. It's the same thing. It's the governments of China. It's all of them. That's where this is going. Now look at this. Google Wallet becomes the first. This is according to Grok. Google Wallet becomes the first digital wallet to integrate directly with TSA PreCheck. Everybody, what is this? This is a wallet that Google has got in cahoots with the United States government. Now, from what I just showed you the past 10 minutes, it's not surprising to us that this has happened, because Google and Ripple and the governments, I've already shown you, have been working together for 13 years. What we now what we have is a public acknowledgement of a relationship. Now the government's kind of showing their cards, okay? We've got to have digital facial ID to have all this stuff happen. From now on, the government's going to know everything you do. Like before, you could go to a gas station and pay in cash. Oh, that's going to be over now. You're going to have to show some kind of ID, whether it's whatever it is, to buy gasoline. They're going to know everything where you're going. It's going to be over. Your days of hiding in the shadows are over, okay? Google Wallet becomes the first digital wallet to integrate directly with the TSA, everybody. So here's how they do it. You link it up. You make these lines so damn long at the airport, right? Purposely, people are like, oh, God, I'd sell my left kidney to get through this fucking line, right? So you make all this. Before you had to like almost strip down. You can't wear shoes through this thing. They just try to make this the most horrible experience traveling you could ever imagine. Now Google comes in to save the day. Oh, well, if you just use this system, you can get through the TSA line not in 2 hours, but in 2 minutes. Oh, I'll sell my soul. Oh my God. Google Wallet becomes the first digital wallet with Ripple technology to integrate, and the Chinese, to integrate with TSA pre-check touchless ID, enabling passport-backed digital ID, biometric facial comparison. Oh, you gotta love it. This announcement marks a notable step in institutional adoption of digital wallets. What? Digital wallets? Yeah, that's... Let me look here. Now, here's a video here. Here's where Ripple had wallets. Let me show you. This deals with Japan. So I've already established the fact that Google and Ripple go all the way back to 2013. Look at this video here I made. It's dealing with Japan. I want you to start the video. Start it at the 31-second mark. 31-second mark. What do we see here? A date of December 9th, 2014. 12 years ago. Okay, let's play the video here. Let it roll. Now, stop at the 38-second mark. At the 38-second mark, you'll see something called Cyberbank. It was Japan's first Japan's first Ripple ATM. Right here, 12 years ago or more. Cyberbank installs Japan's first Ripple ATM and issues Ripple Cash. Cash cards, huh? Now, stop on the 51-second mark. 51-second mark. What do we have down there at the bottom? How to create a wallet. How to create a wallet, everybody. Isn't that something? Look right there. Ripple already had wallets. I've been telling you right there. Now, I do have the code for the Ripple wallet. It's in one of my old videos back in 2023. 2023, around October-ish. I can't seem to find it. I'm not going to, but I literally use my phone and show you all the code to that Ripple wallet. It's very interesting. But yeah, back in the old days, you could download the software to get the Ripple wallet. How cool is that? Seen it right here, how to create, but the archive wouldn't let me do it on this page there. But I just wanted to show you that Ripple already had all this. This is all pretend. Like what they're doing now, they're making these announcements. Ripple comes out with a wallet. No, they had this wallet 12 years ago. I showed you the Ripple wallet before Ripple showed you that they had a wallet. I do all this stuff. Ripple comes out with an automated market maker. I was showing you Ripple had XMM. That was the I showed you before Ripple came out with an automated market maker. I already showed you their beta test market maker. So whatever Ripple comes out with, I've already shown you guys first. You gotta love it. First mover advantage on Crypto Hulk Show. So here we have Google announcing to the world they're hooking up the United States government, which they already have. We already shown this in this show. Then they come out with a digital wallet. Well, if you just watch my program, it's not surprising because Ripple already had this wallet back like 12, 13 years ago. So it's taking a long time. I know it takes a long time. Crypto Hulk, why is it taking forever? I mean, look, they've been working on this shit since 2013, 14. Here we are 12 years later. Do you know how long? I mean, God, Dave Schwartz is like, shit, man, this thing has taken forever. Now, the good part is you and me know all this stuff. 99% of the world has no idea what we're talking about here. Yeah, but I'm showing you here. We are so far ahead. We're watching. I was telling you guys 3 years ago about all this Ripple Trade Japan, the Ripple wallet and all this. I've been telling you 3 years ago. Then just finally Ripple acknowledges, yep, we made a wallet. And you and me are watching like, really? Like, you guys already made one. What are you talking about? But that's what happens when you're early, like Crypto Hawk Show. We can literally watch this and laugh and say, Crypto Hawk was talking about this years ago. So now, all of a sudden now, Google just somehow, Google partner with Ripple, Google just somehow comes up with a digital wallet, and they're working with the government safety. So here's the sell, okay? Do you want to wait in an airport line for 2 or 3 hours? No. Don't you want safety in the airports? Yes. Do you really want a bad guy? I can't use the word terror and then ist. Do you really want a bad guy on an airplane with La Bomba? No. So just get your picture done and we'll give you this thing called a TSA wallet. And then when you fly, you can check right in fast. You can get on that airplane. There's no bad guys because we do all this anti-money laundering and know your customer. We got this digital wallet. And then aren't you safe? Don't you just feel great when you fly now? Oh, man. Yeah, TSA, thank you for installing this wallet on my phone from Google. And then guess what happens like next year in 2027? Google's wallet at the TSA, they just happen to allow cryptocurrencies to get put on the wallet. Imagine that. What a coincidence. Are you seeing how all this is getting set up, everybody? I can't tell you when we get rich. What can I tell you? Everybody's going to have one of these fucking wallets. Everybody's got to have a wallet first. They're going to roll it out with the TSA. It's for your safety in flying. So I got to have my wallet. So at first, your Google wallet for the TSA is just strictly to keep the airports and the airplanes in the air safe. And once everybody knows how to have that wallet, then all of a sudden, maybe we go to people getting their Social Security checks in that wallet. Their welfare payments in that wallet. And then you got the poor people in using the wallets. And then you can say, well, we have a new feature here at Google. We no longer just accept government payments. You can have your paychecks using Zebek. Oh, got to buy Zebek. Everybody's going to run off right now and buy Zebek. Oh, shit. Crypto Hulk just talked about Zebek. I'm going to go buy Zebek. But that's how all this is going down. So you start off with, you've got to have this wallet for TSA. We've got to protect ourselves. Everybody get the wallet, like get the shot, right? Get the shot, right? We got to be safe so nobody catches the COVID, right? We got to do it. It's an emergency. We got to do it. We got to stop the spread, right? They said if everybody gets the shot, we could stop the spread in like 2 weeks. So don't leave the house. Oh boy. That's where we're going, everybody. Eligible TSA pre-check members can now opt in for Google Wallet. Google Wallet. Now, I got a phone right here. And I clicked the side button twice. This is an Apple wallet. They're all going to have it. You won't just have... Apple has this wallet. I'm not going to show you. It's got my credit cards and shit. What's going to happen? I'm just showing you what's going to happen early. Either Apple will have their own that TSA will approve, or what I really think, Apple is going to have a Google format that they can use on their phone. And Google will be the standard, and they'll just call it Apple Wallet. Okay. And it'll already be TSA approved because it will be the Google TSA that Apple will have. And within my wallet, one day, there will be a TSA kind of a card, tab, whatever it is. And then that wallet will be able to have crypto. That's where this goes, everybody. We're getting the wallets now. This is where we're at. I don't have time frames. I don't have dates. You got to get everybody hooked up. People aren't going to be buying and moving crypto unless they know exactly who is doing what. Let's see. Airlines are all hooked up. Samsung is hooked up. Google's hooked up in this. Facial comparison. Facial comparisons are all hooked up in here. Encryption, crypto. Crypto is encryption. Department of Homeland Security. They're mixed up in this. TSA, Customs Border Protection. They're all mixed up in this. Everybody, we're seeing it all coming into play right here. Biometric facial comparison templates. They're creating them. Google. You got Google controlled, but federally back end. Federal back end. So it's a Google government connection. If you watch Crypto Hulk Show, this is not surprising. They're rolling it out. It's always going to happen last in the United States. Let me click out of that right there. Let me check the comment section here. Up, late fee, Ed 105, boys. Thanks, Hulk. So Larry Conti is saying they have these flock cameras everywhere on dirt roads in Florida. Very interesting, huh? You know, those flock cameras can, like, your phone has chips and microwave kind of shit going out. I'm not a tech person. I don't know. I don't want to know. Larry, closed circuit TV is everywhere. Do you see where all this is going, everybody? Like I told you 6 years ago, well, let's back it up even before more than that. 8-9 years ago, the year was like 2018, maybe 2017, 18. I bought my first crypto. I didn't quite know what it was. It was a company called XY Findables. Now they have the XYO crypto, but XY Findables was the company. I learned about this company. I invested in it because I saw that they were tracking things. They had these little round things. Now, some people call them AirPods. It was a technology that Apple stole from XY Findables because Apple's not an innovative company. They steal shit from other people. That's the drugs talking. In my opinion, Apple is a company that steals shit from people, just like Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. Just my opinion only, under heavy drug use. That's what we're seeing here is these technologies. I told you that when I got into this XY Findable company, I put $500 in. I got 500 shares, not knowing that I bought an illegal securities sales. They weren't allowed to do that, but they did. They sold it and I got it. And then some years later, they're like, oh, we have to buy these back. And I'm like, no, you can go suck some fat dicks because I'm not selling them back. So I hold my own stock certificate in XY Findables. And because why did I buy that company? Because it involved tracking people. And I said, this is what the future is going to be. They're going to track everything and everybody. So XY Findables has these little tracking devices, and that's how the company started. Then some years later, I don't know, 2021 or something like that, they came up with a crypto called XYO. So I do own that crypto. But I kind of knew like this is the future. And then I found about crypto with COVID started in 2020. And then I watched 3 months worth of video. I watched 10 videos a day for 3 months. I watched like 900 videos and started Crypto Halt channel. And one of my first videos and stuff, I was telling you, I got good news and I got bad news. Bad news is we're all going to be tracked, probably microchipped or whatever. You're going to have facial ID, all this crap like that. And then this crypto comes in because they're going to be able to take it from you. I knew that XRP would be like a global currency. The government they're probably going to take XRP anyway. So I never overbought the XRP. I always kind of knew that would be some kind of government money that we're not allowed to have. And the rest is history. This crypto journey has been very interesting. I found out that, I didn't know it was all the government at first. It took a little bit of time. Then I'm like, you know what? This is all government shit right here. I started this channel. I've dealt with crazy censorship from the government and Google and all that. And I've got a channel here where you guys have access to some of the most deep dive information. And it's not just having access to information. We're knowing what cryptos are here early and what cryptos I'm going to invest in. Because I just don't want one crypto in case the government does take XRP. I want a variety. Maybe they take all the ISOs. I have no idea. So with that, I think I'm going to call it a wrap. Crypto Bat says, my crypto is 2 layers of Faraday. Oh my God. Now I know people that have their electronics, their gold, their silver. There's Faraday bags that are big, like where you can put, I know people that know people, but they put their shit in a Faraday bag and then they put it in these big plastic bags, air seal it, and then bury it in the ground. So that way, if you have a metal detector and someone's scanning the ground, it won't pick up your shit inside the Faraday bag. Now, if they're doing a sonogram type LiDAR shit, they'll be scanning the ground and see like this big black area. They'll be like, oh, there's a hole in the ground here or so. But yeah, they wrap their shit in a Faraday and plastic bag, thick plastic, and vacuum seal that shit and bury their shit in the ground. That way nobody can find it. Just a little tidbit there for you. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go work out. So I will see you in the next broadcast. I'm going to try to have a PM show. Looks more likely I will. So that should be around 5 o'clock PM or so, right about then. I'll see you then.